An extraordinary time now coming up, in particular where you are, because people's attentions in Scotland are on other elections in May before we get to the EU referendum in late June.
Yes, absolutely. We've got the Scottish election. We're doing very well. UKIP in Scotland, they're expecting us to get 7 seats at least. Again, there will be some bounce there from the European referendum. But people in Scotland have the similar sort of views to those in England, despite what we hear from a lot of the press organisations. Basically, people are terrified to say that they're against the Scottish National Party nostrums of pro-Europe, so it might damage their jobs, or if they're a policeman or they work for the civil service or hospitals or whatever. They're not happy just to say we're against the nostrums of the SNP, which is a pro-European party. We in UKIP here in Scotland, we are the only Leave part of all the parties here. The Conservatives, Ruth Davidson, she said she'd sign up to anything Mr Cameron wanted to sign up to. Labour, obviously, for the same thing. The Scottish National Party are extremely pro-Europe. They're not really a Scottish National Party. They're a pro-Europe party. I would like to see powers brought back to Edinburgh. If we get out of the European Union, powers will be repatriated to Scotland on fishing, on agriculture, on many other things. If we get a Brexit, I can be very confident to say Scotland will get a lot more powers returned here. And that was when we had the referendum. It was whatever the fact that we won, people wanted to have more powers here in Scotland, and they're going to get it if they vote for Brexit.
Well, the fact is, though, the vast majority of MPs in Scotland are, of course, SNP, and they are very, very passionate. And I was talking to Alex Salmond earlier on today, putting a very passionate case for remaining in the EU, but
Jim Sillars has a very different idea, and he's
carries
an SNP
its people with you. You don't have a hope, do you? The SNP is going to take people with it.
No, that's absolute nonsense. Jim Sillars of the SNP is for leaving. So is Gordon Wilson. So this is not true of even the SNP. A lot of people at the top of the SNP want to swan about Europe. Nicola Sturgeon swanning about with Chancellor Merkel and President Hollande. That's what they want. But a lot of the ordinary SNP members have a very different idea. They don't see the purpose of having independence from Great Britain and at the same time signing up to be ruled by Brussels. That's not independence. What sort of independence is that? So I think you'll find a lot of the Scottish National Party members will be voting for Brexit as well. And you will also see that Labour Party members who are not in agreement with the new leader of the Labour Party, they will want to express their desire to leave, and they will be voting for leave. And you'll find a lot of the Conservative Party members who are not happy with Ruth Davidson saying she will sign up to anything the Prime Minister is willing to sign up to in Europe. They will be supporting leave. So I think it'll be very interesting, and I think it'll be reflected in the Scottish elections. I think UKIP are going to do rather well. We're going to get a lot of votes from people you'd not have expected to vote for us.
All right, well, let's see what happens both in May and in June. David Coburn, thanks for joining us there in Edinburgh.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.